And welcome on into another episode of Getting Well with Terry and Friends. I'm Terry, that's Nick, and we are going to break down some baseball with a CFL game at the end. It's actually pretty cool. This week we actually have a CFL game Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So it's kind of interesting that they're doing one per day. So there's football for the next 4 nights, which we will go over. But we will start with baseball, and we will jump right into the first game here. I have a lot of plays today. There's a lot of games. It just came pretty easy to me. And this was one of them. The Royals are in New York facing the struggling Yankees in this one. Tim was telling me that I should bet the Royals today as a nice underdog, and I can see why. You would think that. Right now, you can get them anywhere from plus 180 to plus 211. The Yankees are minus 227 to minus 275, a total of 8.5 in this one. The Yankees are struggling. Yes, they're facing Kansas City. Yes, they have Jamison Taillon on the mound, who is much better at home than he is on the road. And then for Kansas City, Brady Singer, who can be really, really good at times, had a bit of a rough stretch there. But in his last 2 games, both against Tampa Bay and Detroit, he only gave up 1 earned run in each game. Yankees, obviously a different animal, but how I've decided to tackle this game is take the first 5 under 4.5, which I got at plus 105. The best you can find it for right now is plus 103. Some minus 105s. But to get plus money on it, I really like that. I think we have a lower scoring start to the game. I think both pitchers pitch well. And I wouldn't talk anybody off. Looking at Kansas City, first 5 plus a half, you can get that for plus 124 at FanDuel for the plus a half. So I want to talk anybody off that. I have to see it from the Yankees that they've turned it around really before I can back them at this price in this one. Nick, Royals, Yankees, what do you think here?
Yeah, I am going to take the Royals here in the first 5 innings. I think that the current form, looking at these 2 pitchers, I think Brady Singer is in better current form than Taillon is. And we're getting plus 155. Plus, we're getting kind of a similar situation to when we saw this game 1 with the Dodgers and the Nationals, with the Dodgers coming in off of that Giants series. We look at this a lot with the Yankees and the Red Sox when those 2 teams play. Generally, when 2 big rivals go at each other, I generally want to fade those 2 teams in their first game after that big rivalry series, because usually those are the games they get up for. Those are the games that they're playing their best at. And then you get a game like the Royals. I don't know. You just played 2 against your rival, in-state rival, and then you get to play the Royals. I feel like this has flat spot for the Yankees written all over it here. I got the Royals in the first 5 at plus 155. I wouldn't be surprised to see them win this full game. And I think that we can find our spots to fade the Yankees down the stretch here and actually make some money doing it. Because I think that they're a team that wins 100, 105 games, but they were on a pace heading into the All-Star break of like 110, 115. So this is a spot here where I took the Royals. First 5, money line at plus 155, taking a shot with Kansas City in this game.
All right. Yeah, Tim was just saying in the group chat trying to get me to bet some dogs. And I said I wasn't going to be betting those, but I would lean with Kansas City in this spot. But I'll
dogs have been really good. Yeah, dogs have been really good the last 30 days. I think they're like 60 or 70 games over 500 dogs the last 30 days, which has been crazy in July here. It's the dog days of summers.
Dana says Royals no runs in a few days. I like the over. Just maybe wait till after the first 5 innings and then score as many as you want. Sounds good to me. But
that strategy sounds like betting a live over in that game.
if it stays under. If I'm right and it's a
Yeah,
lower
if it
start,
stays
then
under
yeah,
in the first 5,
especially
you
with the
can look
Yankees
at
bullpen.
and the Royals bullpen. That's why I isolated the Royals only to a first 5 because I still don't trust that bullpen. Other than Scott Barlow in the back of that order, the closer, I don't really trust that Royals bullpen. That's the stat I was looking for. Yeah.
226 and 148 in the last 30
That's
days.
massive. And keep that in mind for next July, because July is usually that time of the year where the dogs come in and they perform pretty well before the All-Star break and then before trade deadline. And usually after trade deadline, that's when that comes down a little bit.
The only thing with this game that scares me off the Royals, I know you said Yankees did just come off that 2-game series versus the Mets. Obviously, that meant a lot to them, but they did not have any success in those 2 games. So I could see kind of a pissed off Yankees team, but with the way they're playing right now, there's
They're
no way
slumping a little bit,
I'll be backing them. Yeah,
because they lost their last series, I believe, as well. Before the Mets series, they lost. They won 2 out of 3 from Baltimore, but got swept against Houston. That's what it was.
yeah, they haven't been playing like their normal selves for a while.
Yeah, they've definitely come back down to earth. And we're saying that they're still 33 games over 500, but they're no longer in sole first place of best record in baseball. The Dodgers have caught them.
Exactly. Moving on along to the next one here. No, I didn't pick Toronto as one of the games for us to discuss today. I figured we can get to that last pitch, but I felt there was other better games on the board, including this one, Cleveland and Boston. I want to thank the Guardians for showing up first 5 for me yesterday. Then they were briefly losing, and I was thinking, the sky is falling. And then they came back and won for me. So, hey, you get first 5 full game. There was a little bit of a rocky 6th, 7th inning there, but they came back, and that's what matters. So now they're the favorites here. You can find them anywhere from minus 118 to minus 133. Boston, you can find anywhere from plus 100 to plus 107. 9, some 9.5s available. I'm going right back to it as yesterday. Cleveland first 5 money line, which I got for minus 115, and Cleveland full game money line, which I also got for minus 115. McKenzie, he had a rough stretch. It seems like a lot of these really good pitchers seem to have a rough stretch in the season at some point where kind of they lose it for a while. But then they kind of get back on it. That's been McKenzie. His last 3 games, he's given up 1 earned run total against the White Sox in his last game. And then 2 games, yes, against Detroit and Kansas City. He didn't allow a run in either of those. 8 innings against Detroit, 6 innings against Kansas City. He has been pitching well. And we know what this Boston Red Sox team is doing on the other side. And that's finding ways to lose games. Cutter Crawford, in his last 2 games, both 6 innings, he gave up 5 hits against Toronto, 6 hits against Tampa Bay, 3 earned runs in both games, 1 walk. Hasn't been horribly awful or anything, but Boston's just not playing well. Cleveland, McKenzie is doing great. So I'm taking Cleveland first 5 money line minus 115. I'm not taking the run line at plus money because I could see a potential tie in this. If for some reason Cleveland's offense isn't all there, I could see kind of a tie. So I'm just taking the first 5 money line, but taking Cleveland full game money line as well. I like the way this Guardians team is playing. And hey, the Twins better watch out because if the Guardians keep playing like this, they could take the division. I also saw an interesting tweet on Twitter earlier. Apparently, the White Sox, Cleveland, and Minnesota are all heavily in the starting pitcher race. I guess all 3 teams think with how close the division is that they have a chance and they should all go for it. But in my opinion, It doesn't really matter who wins this division. They're going to be in trouble when it comes to playoff time. So I don't know if I would be loading up to try to win the division. But I guess that's the GM's choices and not mine. That's why they're a GM. I'm not, but that's just my opinion. Nick, Guardians, Red Sox. What do you think here?
Yeah, they're loading up because they want to make the playoffs because they want that playoff revenue. It doesn't matter if you make it just to the wild card round or all the way to the World Series. You're going to get extra money playing in the playoffs because you're playing extra games. That's why. That's why the GMs and the owners want to load up a little bit there. And yeah, even though any of those three teams, I don't see them making it past the first round of the playoffs most likely because they'll get the lowest wild card, which will probably be Tampa Bay, Toronto, or Seattle. I think all three of those teams are legitimate, could make a small run in the playoffs. For this game, I did back the Guardians in the first 5 innings. I have 4 remaining plays in baseball for today. This is the only one I laid juice on. I got minus 125 for the first 5 innings with the Guardians. I'm going to go back to what I've been doing since the All-Star break. That's made me decent money, and that's fading the Boston Red Sox as they continue to tailspin. I think that the Red Sox will be selling. We may see them trade away Bogarts. We may see them trade away Devers, JD Martinez. This may be close to a fire sale soon. I'm going to look at the Guardians here just in the first 5. All my plays are first 5s today. I noticed I don't have any full games, but I took the Guardians here in this spot.
Yeah, Boston could be headed for a full-on rebuild.
Yep.
But if you do that and you look at what Toronto has, they have a lot of young players, a lot of young talent. So sometimes the rebuild route is actually a good way to build a team that can compete for years.
Yeah, this Red Sox team has been weird, though, because we've seen them the last few years. One year they'll be last in the AL East and be absolutely terrible. The next thing we know, the next year they're playing for a World Series. So, like, this team could all finish last one year and make the playoffs and make a run the next year. So, I don't know how much of a full sell they're going to do, but they're one of those teams where they're weird like that.
For sure. Going on to this next one, I did get burned in this last time these pitchers. The last time Urquidy faced the Mariners. I'm not sure if it was against Gilbert or not. I can't 100% be positive, but
I'll look that up.
Gilbert against Urquidy in this one. Urquidy got absolutely smashed by Seattle. His first 3 starts this year. Played pretty well in the last one. But I'm backing Gilbert and the Mariners on the first 5, just on the money line. I'm not going crazy with it or anything, but I think Urquidy gets hit again. I think he played well the last time, but I think the Mariners know him. And hey, we just saw what happened to the Astros against Oakland. Why can't Seattle beat them? I think they definitely can, especially with Gilbert on the mound. So I have Seattle first 5 money line at plus 121. That's a crazy price in my mind. It's not Verlander on the mound. It's Urquidy. There's a big difference. So I'll take the Mariners here in the first 5. Nick, Mariners, Astros. What do you think here?
Yeah, this is the 3rd time we're seeing these 2 pitchers go up against each other. Both of them we saw Urquidy and Gilbert go at each other on June the 8th in a 6-3 Mariners win, and we saw it on May the 28th in a 6-0 Mariners win. So both times these 2 pitchers have gone up against each other. It has gone the way of the Seattle Mariners. For me, it's a lean towards the Mariners in the first 5. I did not pull the trigger on this one here. I can easily see the Astros pissed off after last series getting swept. And for some reason, some teams just don't get up against other teams. And I just feel like that's just that way with the Astros against the Athletics, where they just don't care in their games against the Athletics. And the Athletics just took that series more seriously. And we're going to see that with another game tonight where just some teams take other teams way more serious than others. And we'll see that in a later game as well. But for me, this is a lean towards the Mariners. I almost bet them. I end up staying off this one, though.
Interesting. I'm wondering what game you're talking about, but I guess we'll see a little bit later. Rye Guy says that Gilbert faced Verlander. So on the last, I
Yeah,
guess the
last
last
time
game.
those two went up each other, it was a 3-1 Astros win, and it was Verlander, not Urquidy. I was referring to the two times we saw exactly Logan Gilbert versus Jose Urquidy.
Well, no, it's just because I said before that I'm like, he's facing Arquitti tonight. He's not facing Verlander. So
Yes.
hopefully the Mariners can cover there for me in the first five. For anyone else that takes them full game or first five. We'll go into the fourth game that I chose here, and that's the Texas Rangers heading to LA to face the Angels. This one, there's just a stat that I kind of been following the last few games that I will get into here in a second, but we will look at the odds currently. You can find Texas anywhere from plus 185 to plus 196. The Angels are minus 225 at most books, up to minus 250 at others. 7.5s right across the board in this one. But what I'm going to in this game is a player prop. You go to Shohei Ohtani, you go to his strikeout prop, 8.5. You can find that at plus money at most books that are listed here. So most books should have it at plus money. That's for 8.5 strikeouts. He has 5 straight games where he has double-digit strikeouts, so 10 or more in 5 straight games. So you can get 8.5 for plus 115. I got it for plus 120, and I also have the over 9.5 strikeouts for plus 165. He is a strikeout machine, and as long as he is still 100% healthy, I know he did get hit with a ball a few games ago, but he's continued playing, so everything should be fine with him. I don't see him not hitting the strikeout prop here against the Rangers. So I will kind of keep on with that stat and hope he can hit double digits again. Nick, Rangers, Angels, what do you think here?
Looking at it at first glance, there's no way in hell I'm laying minus 230 with the LA Angels tonight. This is Rangers or nothing for me. And I get it. It's Shohei Ohtani. I know, amazing. Also, I saw an interesting little tidbit for this game, and I put it in the group chat. Today is Spencer Howard's birthday. We saw last night. Scherzer went out and absolutely shoved on his birthday. Take with that information as you please. How much it factors into my handicapping. I'm doing the calculations right now. Is absolutely nothing. I don't care if it's your birthday or not. I only care about the line value, and I think there is line value here with the Texas Rangers at plus 190. I would look at them. I mean, you can look at them full game because I do think they have a bullpen advantage over this LA Angels bullpen, which both these their bullpens have not been great though. You can get the Rangers in the first 5 at plus 180 on my book. I think that's not a bad look as well. For me though, I'm going to pass on this game with a lean towards the Rangers money line. First 5.
All right. Yeah, I just want to make it clear I am not recommending anyone to bet the Angels today.
No.
No, definitely not. But Ohtani strikeout props, that's different. But I'm definitely not backing the Angels. And I would never back them at this price either. Maybe earlier on in the year when they were in their hot streak, but definitely not with how they're playing right now. Before we get to last pitch and then the CFL game, BetStamp, use code WILD when signing up. Find the best odds for whatever you're looking for. And we'll use the Detroit-Toronto game as an example. Some books, you can find Detroit at plus 200. Other books, plus 180. 20-cent line difference. So you want to find the best odds for whatever you're betting. Use code WILD when signing up and follow me there at Let's Go Wild Picks. Going on to last pitch, the rest of the games, Philly and Pittsburgh. I am on Philly, team total over 4.5. I like them to score 5 runs here against Thompson and the Pirates. Not really taking them. I'm not really comfortable taking them to like win or win by 2. because I could see an instance where they win by one. But I do think they score some runs here against Thompson. So I like the team total over 4.5, which I got at minus 104. Moving on along to the Detroit Toronto game, we have Alexander against Kikuchi. I am happy that Kikuchi is pitching tonight. I am actually extremely happy because if he does not have a good game against the Detroit Tigers, he is 100% going to be traded or sent to the minors or whatever.
Have a
This is
magical
his,
injury.
yeah, this is his test, and it's the Detroit Tigers, so he better pass it. But no, apparently, from what I've heard, from what the announcers are saying, the few weeks off he's had have done him really well. He's actually looked really good in training, behind the scenes, in practice and stuff. So we'll have to see if that translates to a real game against the Tigers here. But I'm not going to back him with just I haven't seen him play since his return from injury. We could get a game like the game against Tampa Bay where he pitched really well and only allowed one earned run, or we could get other games where he's gone after 3 or 4 innings. So what I'm doing in this game is taking Toronto team total over 5.5, which I got at plus 110. Yes, Toronto had a rough game yesterday against Wainwright, who pitched really well. And actually, the St. Louis Cardinals have a really good defense. There was a few times that were frustrating me where there should have been hits, but their defense came through. I don't think Detroit's defense will come through in those spots tonight. So I think the Jays can get 6 runs full game. So that's where I'm going there.
Yeah, one thing I want to touch on that Cardinals comment. You said that their defense. Yeah, because I believe they were the first team in like 60 years to have 5 Gold Glovers win. 5 players win Gold Gloves for them last year. Like their whole infield were all Gold Glovers last year.
Okay, yeah. So
that was a little tidbit for there. Yeah, they stopped they stopped opportunities for hits because they're honestly the best defensive team in baseball.
Well, yeah, that makes sense from what I saw last night. I was just frustrated after frustrated. But luckily, Toronto won't have to face the Cardinals anymore. Going into the Dodgers and the Rockies game, we have Tyler Anderson against Jose Urena. This game's a pass. One of the few games on the slate, besides the Miami game that started earlier, that I'm completely passing on. I want to back the Dodgers, but a lefty in Coors Field, I could see where it could go wrong. He's had a couple good games against the Rockies, a couple not so good games against the Rockies. So I'm just going to kind of pass here on this one. Have lots of other plays, and you don't have to play every game. So I will pass that one. And then the final game of the night, we have the Chicago Cubs and the San Francisco Giants. What can be said about this Giants team except they are really bad? They are really bad. I think their manager as said previously, he wasn't going to panic when he should have been panicking, and now I think it's kind of past time for that. I don't think the Giants will be buyers at the deadline unless they think that they can magically turn it around somehow. But what we're seeing from them is really bad. And if you look at the Cubs, they're finding ways to win games, having won 6 in a row. So you're going to give me the Cubs at a good price here, which I got them for plus 124. I'm going to take them against the San Francisco team that's in free fall. When you look at the pitching, Steele has actually pitched pretty good his last few games. So I'll look for him to kind of continue that in this one. Nick, last pitch, the rest of baseball. The floor is yours.
Yeah, we'll touch on. I'll do the same thing you did. Run through the order on bet stamp. There's only very limited games left. I have 2 plays that I have bet that I haven't gone over for the show. The first one is in the Phillies and the Pirates here, and We have the Phillies coming in off of a series win against a arch rival in the Atlanta Braves. So for me, we are going to raise the Jolly Roger, and the Pirates win this game tonight. Give me the Pirates in the first 5 innings at plus 155. This is one of those games where strictly it's the way I saw the market move on this game, when I'm seeing all the tickets, all the money is flooding in on the Phillies, and the books are going, okay, keep it coming, keep it coming, keep it coming. They have not moved the line. They have not moved the line. And that's a dead giveaway that the books are siding with Pittsburgh in this game. And I like being on that side. So I want to raise the Jolly Roger here in the first 5 innings at plus 155. I don't trust them full game, but I do trust them first 5. Pirates, first 5 money line. Tigers and Blue Jays, I came so close to betting this game. I ended up passing on this one. I have been back in the Blue Jays every single game since the All-Star break, and they've been really good to me other than yesterday when Adam Wainwright went in and dominated. But it is what it is. I just can't back Kikuchi at a minus 230 price tag or a minus 110, minus 105 on the run line. I just can't do that. I was actually leaning super hard towards the Tigers in the first 5 in this game, around that plus 160, plus 175 range. I just didn't pull the trigger. I like the Tigers in this game. I've been backing the Blue Jays a lot. I'm not going to all of a sudden just flip the coin there and just go ahead and back the Blue Jays or back the Tigers straight up. But I do think the Tigers are a very live underdog in this game tonight. So I'm leaning Tigers. First 5 innings, did not pull the trigger on them. I'll touch down the Rockies Dodgers game last. And the Cubs and the Giants, I might add a play on the Cubs later in the first 5 innings. We're seeing the Cubs actually find ways to win games, and we're seeing the San Francisco Giants in an absolute tailspin. So I can definitely see the Giants continuing to struggle. I can also see it on the flip side where the Giants just needed to go home. So I'm going to look at that a little bit more, but also I'm going to look at potentially needing these lineups to be confirmed. And this is something with more than just the Cubs. This is with sellers in general. Be careful when betting them earlier in the morning. I know I did with the Pirates here. They could potentially be sellers. The Royals, they can be sellers as well. Rockies, not as much. But if there are rumors of a player might get traded, I like to wait until they can confirm the lineups there. So I know the guys in the lineup tonight, because we see teams pull, like we saw, Trey Mancini not be in the lineup for Baltimore when there was trade talks with him. He obviously hasn't been traded yet. But be careful with, especially during this time for the next couple days until the trade deadline. Players can get traded hours after you make the bets, but hours before the game starts. So look for those lineups to be confirmed now more than ever. I lean towards the Cubbies. I want to see this lineup confirmed with Contreras in it and Happ in it, because honestly, I can see them getting traded before the game started tonight, potentially. I don't think they will be, but I like to tread on the side of caution sometimes when it comes to that. So I'd lean Cubbies. I might get to it later. The game I want to touch on last year is the Dodgers and the Rockies. Now, we were able to give this play out on ESP this morning because we got the amount of likes that we needed on the stream, which was cool, because this is our best bet today. It's the Rockies. I got the Rockies in the first 5 innings. Our best bet's the Rockies full game. And like I mentioned earlier, with some teams taking other teams more serious than others and vice versa, when we're talking about Houston and Oakland, the Rockies in Coors Field, more specifically, take the Dodgers ridiculously seriously. They're 4-2 against the Dodgers so far this year at Coors Field, and I would take it up a notch. If your book offers this, I'm seeing on my book, I didn't personally bet this, but I would definitely look at it if I did make these type of bets. Plus 245 for the Rockies to win that series against the Dodgers here in Coors Field. I think that this is a Rockies team where when they're in Coors Field, for whatever reason, that's the Dodgers' kryptonite, is playing in the altitude. So I love the Rockies tonight in the first 5 innings at the very least. Our best bets in the full game. So I'm going to go with the Rocks there to finish out my slate.
All right. And we will move on along to the CFL game, which is on at around 7:30 p.m. Eastern. We have the Montreal Alouettes heading to Hamilton to face the Ticats. Currently, you can find Montreal anywhere from plus 130 to plus 116. Hamilton around minus 150 favorites. And if you want Hamilton on the spread, you can find them at minus 2.5, minus 115. Or if you are on my side and you want the Alouettes, you can find them plus 3.5, minus 120, 49, 48.5, depending on what books you look at. This Tiger Cats team is not the same Tiger Cats team that we've seen last few years. I think this East Division is really bad. I think all teams will finish with a bad record. But I think this Alouettes team is a little bit better than Hamilton for what I've seen so far this year. So to get them at plus 3.5, I could see this being a really close game. I could see it being within 3. But I think Montreal will get the win when it counts. So I wouldn't talk anybody off Montreal plus 130 or plus 125, whatever you can get them at. But I'm just playing it safe at the plus 3.5 because in the CFL, a lot of games do end in close fashion. So I'll take the Montreal Alouettes underdog plus 3.5 here. Nick, Alouettes, Ticats, what do you think here?
Yeah, one thing I've noticed with these, with the Alouettes more specifically than the with the Tiger Cats is that this Alouettes team has been a dead nuts under. Yeah, by the way, it's a 4-game series. When you make those series bets, it counts the first 3 games. It doesn't count the 4th game. So keep that in mind if you are making that bet. But when we look at the Alouettes here, they're 5-1 over under so far this year. They're number 3 in the CFL, scoring 29 points per game, and they're number 8 in the CFL, giving up 28.2 points per game. That's why they've been a dead nuts over team. Their defense really concerns me in this matchup, which makes me think that Hamilton can put up some points against them, even though Hamilton has the 8th best offense in the CFL, only averaging, I believe, 19.5 points a game. Looking at what the Alouettes have done defensively lately, they give up 33 to Ottawa, 32 to Edmonton, 41 to Saskatchewan in the last 3 games. I don't trust this defense at all, and it would be a lean towards Hamilton for me on the side perspective. I wanted to get involved with the Hamilton team total over, but my book's being a pain in the ass and still won't give it to me. They have all these player props up. They have all these other things up. They won't give me a team total for whatever reason, and it's really annoying. But that's beyond the point. That's just my little TED talk towards Bovada there. And I've messaged him like 3 times about it. But that's beyond the point. I would lean towards Hamilton's team total over, which I believe if I look at I can look at BetStamp here and probably give you the best line for that one there, and where to find it because I want to bet it. Unfortunately, I just don't have the books available to me. Let's see. Hamilton team total over is 26.5. I can see them easily putting up 30 points against this Alouettes defense tonight. I see this as a high-scoring game. I'm on over 49. I would definitely lean towards the Tiger Cats team total over 26.5. I think Montreal is a little bit of a bet against team the way they've been playing lately, and I don't trust their head coach, who hasn't been a head coach for I believe 10 years in the CFL, and then all of a sudden he's the GM, and then he fires his head coach and he becomes the head coach. I don't like that feel in Montreal there, so I think that Montreal is a little bit of a bet against team for me. I lean Hamilton, but I like the over more than anything in this game.
All right. And we will move on along to the best bet segment. And we will start with over or under. For me, quite a few totals today, actually. 3 that I had to choose from. But I went with Kansas City, New York Yankees, first 5 under 4.5. Nick, you are going with the game we just talked about, the over in the Montreal Hamilton game.
Yep.
Tim going against me on one of my other totals. He's taking Philly team total under 4.5.
So he thinks they raised the Jolly Rancher tonight.
Hey, Pittsburgh can win and still give up 4 runs.
I know. But I don't know if I would agree with the team total under there for Philly. I can see that being a 6-5 type of game.
Hopefully. Dave is going with the under 12 in LA and Colorado. And Ryan is going with the over 9.5 in Detroit and Toronto. Moving on to dog of the day. For me, it's the Chicago Cubs. Nick, you're going with the Pittsburgh Pirates.
Yep.
Tim, fading the Yankees, shocking, is taking the Kansas City Royals. Dave is going with the Colorado Rockies. And Ryan is going with the Seattle Mariners. So lots of dogs today. Parlay piece. Yeah. Well, the way dogs have been going, it makes sense that people are handing in a lot of dogs. So for me, Blue Jays money line, my parlay piece. Nick, you're going Cleveland first 5 money line, which is what I was going to choose, but I went with the Blue Jays instead.
It was the play that I've actually bet that I have the most juice. Really, because all my other 3 plays are plus 155 dogs with in the first 5 with the Rockies, Royals, and Pirates.
All right, Tim is going Colorado plus 2.5. Dave is taking the Giants first 5 money line, and Ryan is going with the LA Angels for his parlay piece. And going on to best bets, for me, the best I was going to take Cleveland, but I have the most money on Toronto team total over 5.5 because I split my Cleveland bet. So I'm going Cleveland or Toronto team total over 5.5 plus 110 for 1 unit. Nick, you're going Colorado first 5 for 2 units. Tim is going Colorado full game for 1 unit. Dave is going Colorado first 5 money line as well for 1 unit.
Oh, he got 170 for it. Okay, let me.
Well, when I put the odds before the show, it was plus 170 the best for it. So yeah, you can have that for plus 170.
No, that was just that's the line I got for it. I forgot to look at Bet Stamp and find the best odds for it, which is plus 175 on WinBet.
Oh, plus 175 now. Perfect. There you go. And
Hop around. Use the Bet Stamp app.
Exactly. And Ryan is going with Philadelphia Phillies minus 1.5 as his best bet. DJ's golf bets, I'm not sure if you can still bet them or not, but they are there.
I'm assuming not because the golf slates start Thursday early morning, I believe.
But you can live bet. I did notice you can live bet
golf, yes.
Yeah, so there you go. If you're into golf, the picks were there. And we will see. Tim says, let's go dogs. So let's go dogs.
I agree with that.
And Lingowick likes Texas LA under 7.5. Best of luck. And under helps my strikeout props. And if you look at it, an under game helps strikeout props. So I wish you lots of luck. That is the show. Best of luck to everybody. If you like the content, smash the like button. If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. We appreciate all the support. And we will see you again tomorrow, 4 p.m. Eastern, for another episode of Getting Well with Terry and Friends. Have a good one, guys.